the MGB. Okay, it's a creaky classic for old geezers in hairy sports jackets with leather patches on their elbows and flat caps who pretend they can still remember what it was like to drive fast, when in fact the MGB is a wheezy old thing that any modern Super Mini can blow into the weeds, right? Well, no, actually, because this is an MGB built up by the MG Owners Club's workshops at their headquarters near Cambridge. They've simply gone through their huge MGOC spares catalogue and come up with the ultimate specification car. It's based on a brand new MGB shell fitted with a 4.6 litre Rover V8 engine, 5-speed Range Rover gearbox, new wishbone suspension at the front, new rear suspension, high ratio limited slip back axle, carbon fibre trim, leather seats, door panels and electric windows in an MGB. So this is an MGB with a difference, and one of the main differences is the price tag. Now, you could get a very nicely restored standard MGB for around £6,000. This could stand you in at £30,000. Is it £24,000 better? Let's find out. There ain't no substitute for queues is something the Americans always used to say about their hot rods. And that's certainly something you can say about an MGB. They've built the 4.6 litre V8 to produce a leisurely 265 brake horsepower, but a massive 300 pounds-feet of torque. And that means this MGB is supremely flexible, pulls hard from 1,000 RPM in any gear. That exhaust note sounds great at first, but it does get wearing after a while, and the banging on the overrun is intrusive. I'd go for a rather quieter and more unobtrusive system. Once clear of the town, the speed starts to build up on the open road, then actually the ride smooths out, and the faster you go, the more fun it is. The only phrase I can come up with is yee-haw! With its high gearing, it could in theory pull 150 miles an hour, but 30-year-old aerodynamics mean a practical top speed of around 135. And it'll do 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. David Sculthorpe, the man behind this, brilliant job. I mean, how long did it take you?
About 7 months in total, although it wasn't, day in, day out working on it. We had to take time off to develop bits and pieces for it, but strung end on end, 7 months.
And would it be practical for somebody to build this car?
Yes, we actually built it in a double garage, someone's home workshop, to prove that it could be done. And it proved very successful. No special tools needed, and it was built up on axle stands as you would do at home.
And just all the bits you've got on your shelves?
We have. Every single part that's on this car we've supplied ourselves, and all those parts are very readily available, so there's no waiting for parts or difficult components to actually build into it.
Just bolt it together. And
Almost.
somebody really will pay 30,000 quid for something like this?
People already are paying that kind of money to build their own cars. Whether their ultimate budget takes them up to £30,000 remains to be seen when the cars are finished, but certainly they're a long way on with some very high specification cars being built.
Well, if you fancy an even older classic that can still keep up with modern traffic conditions, just wait till you see this. It's an MGA. It dates back to the mid-50s, but this, again, is something special. It's been built as another exercise to show what the workshops here at the MG Owners Club really can do. So, it's got a 2.2 litre MGB engine, 5-speed gearbox from a Ford Sierra, limited slip back axle, tuned suspension and big MGB brakes. And above all, it's great fun. The purists purists will argue about modifying cars like this, putting Sierra gearboxes in beautiful MGAs and tuning MGB engines for them and cutting down the windscreens and putting Range Rover engines in MGBs. The answer is that today's motoring conditions have changed fundamentally from the days these cars were originally built. And if you want to have fun on the crowded public roads of today, you've got to have reliability and you've got to have a car that's easier to drive than this was in the mid-50s. Magic. If you force the club to give you a price, they say that this MGA would cost around £25,000. But of course, you can buy an MGA for a lot less than that, and you can convert an MGB to V8 spec for a lot less than £30,000. But that's to miss the point of this car. It's aimed fair and square at the Porsche, Mercedes and TVR competition. And when you set it in that context, it makes an awful lot of sense.